Hey, hello everyone. So how are you all? So I hope everyone is that very in the safe zone only. And please welcome to the part three of this the types of bonds in the chemical bond. So before going to start this the part, please try to subscribe this channel and please share and that give a comment on this one. Okay. So don't forget to hit that bell icon. Then you can get that regular notifications on this. So please share this. And okay, so let us continue. The previous part of this, the types of bonds. Actually, this is belongs to the class 11th of the chemical bonding chapter. Types of bonds is the part three class beta. This one, okay. In part two, actually we learn this one bit, like that lattice energy. In that part two, we learn this that lattice energy. Okay, if you want to watch, just please go the playlist of our the YouTube channel and please check it once and please watch it. Okay, and please try to make out the notes. Then it would be easy for you people. Okay, so this is the lattice energy. Up to here, just we learn like on the lattice energy. Okay, now next part. Yeah, next part we need to learn on that solubility. Okay, first, what does it mean of that solubility? Solubility in the sense means what? Solubility means, see, suppose as we learn in our that previous class, let us get that one any chemical compound. Okay, let us get one chemical compound like sodium chloride. Okay, sodium chloride is dissolves in the water. So for our easy process, H2 I am going to take as that H plus OH minus like this. Okay. So whenever this the chemical substance of that sodium chloride is keep in contact with this water, it is going to be soluble. It's going to be soluble and form NaOH, sodium hydroxide, NaOH, okay, sodium NaOH, and H plus ion is going to react with its oppositely charged like Cl. Then it gives that HCl. Okay. So this is the process is known as the solubility. So what type of the compounds is going to be soluble here? We need to learn that how it is going to be soluble. Okay, what type of the components is going to be soluble and what is the order of the solubility? We need to learn in this topic. So many is the very important topic regarding to JEE mains and that need point of view. Okay, so please don't forget to make out the notes on this one. Okay, now come to the point. See, note on the solubility. Delta H of any compound, chemical compound. Delta H stands for what? H stands for what? Heat or enthalpy. Okay, otherwise simply here we can say that hydration energy. So delta H means what? That the hydration energy of any compound, if it is that more than that of lattice energy. Lattice energy means, see, in that previous topic we are already learned this one, that lattice energy. Lattice energy means what? Better the energy which it is required to break any ionic solid compound into its constituent ions. Okay, lattice energy means what? To break the to break any ionic solid. See here that sodium chloride. Sodium chloride is an example of what? Ionic solid. It is going to be broken out. It's going to be breaking. How? So to break this that molecule, it requires some amount of energy. So that is nothing but the lattice energy. Okay. If the lattice energy of any compound is having very less than that of its hydration energy, then it is the soluble. Okay. You got my point? ఏంటి బేటా delta H hydration ఎప్పుడు soluble అవుతుంది delta H of that hydrogen should be greater than its lattice energy, then it is that soluble, then it is soluble. Insoluble ఎప్పుడు అవుతుంది whenever this that lattice energy value is greater than hydration energy, then it is that insoluble, means that not soluble, అప్పుడు అది solubility కాదన్నమాట. ఓకే, insoluble. మరి అటు సాల్యుబుల్ అండ్ ఇన్సాల్యుబుల్ కాకుండా మీడియేటర్ ఉంటే ఏమంటామంటే ఈక్విలిబ్రియం స్టేట్. సో వాట్ టైమ్ దట్ ఎనీ కెమికల్ కాంపౌండ్ ఇస్ దట్ ఈక్విలిబ్రియం. ఈక్విలిబ్రియం ఎప్పుడు ఉంటుంది బట ఈక్విలిబ్రియం? వెనెవర్ దిస్ దట్ హైడ్రేషన్ ఎనర్జీ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు lattice energy, then it will be that equilibrium state. So very important point, just make out the star mark for this one, otherwise that keep it in a box. important point to be noted over here. Okay, so what is the delta H? Means that hydration energy of any compound. If it is that greater than that lattice energy, then that ionic compound is that soluble. If the delta H value is that less than that of that lattice energy, then that ionic compounds are insoluble. So as I told, equilibrium state. ఎప్పుడు ఉంటుంది బేటా equilibrium state? Whenever this that both energy values are equal. See here that some order of that solubility. So here I given the 5 examples here. Okay, so out of the 5 examples, that last 3 were, okay, out of the 5 examples, the last 3 were, the order is not the last 3 kaadu, last 2 were is differentiated. So let us check first. Here I taken the first A group elements of halides: lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, and X. X stands for what? Halogens, like LiCl, NaCl, KCl, RbCl, cesium chloride, like CsCl. So the order of solubility is going to be increasing. The solubility order is that increasing from top to bottom in the groups of their respective halides and hydroxides is also increases, and dihalides also, like beryllium BeCl2 and రాసుకోవచ్చు ఇక్కడ, magnesium MgCl2, calcium chloride, francium chloride, like this. So halides means monohalides of the compounds, metal means metal halides, and means that what is the charge beta? Valence ikkada enta untundi? 1 untundi. First A group kada anni ivanni, and halogens ki negative charge -1 untundi kabatti వీటికి valence 1 untundi. But what about the third example? Beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium. So second A group element. So valence is that 2. And lithium hydroxide, sodium hydroxide. So వీటికి solubility ఎలా ఉంటుంది? ఇంక్రీజింగ్ లెవెల్లో ఉంటుంది. గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి. మరి ఇక్కడ వీటికి మాత్రం నేను డిక్రీజింగ్ లెవెల్లో ఇచ్చాను బేటా. ఏంటిది అది? బేరియం సల్ఫేట్, మెగ్నీషియం సల్ఫేట్, calcium sulfate, means beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium, means second A group elements of sulfates, and third A group elements of fluorides. Okay, so not only these the sulfates and fluorides, see these examples: carbonates, sulfates, phosphates, and PO4-3 is the phosphates. So all are these belongs to crystal compounds like that. See beta ikkada -2 ఉంది కదా, ఇక్కడ మనం ఏమని రాసుకోవచ్చు? Na2CO3, అంటే sodium carbonate is one of the salt only na crystal compound, and ఇక్కడ magnesium sulfate. Okay, phosphate అంటే ఇక్కడ aluminum phosphate రాసుకోవచ్చు. Okay, like అంటే third A group elements should be noted over here, can be noted over here. సో ఇక్కడ వీటికి మాత్రం solubility అనేది decreasing level లో ఉంటుంది. ఏ reason beta? See, the crystals of high ionic charges are least soluble. What is that? The crystals of high ionic charges. What is the ionic charge of these that crystals? Only 1. What is the charge of this? The second examples of the compounds? 1. And what is the charge? This is the 2. But what about over here beta? Second A group element and SO4-2. So వీటికి మాత్రం ఇక్కడ నుంచి అది డిక్రీజ్ అవుతుంది. అల్యూమినియం, ఓకే, వీటికి కూడా డిక్రీజ్ అవుతుంది. అంటే ఇలాంటి కాంపౌండ్స్ కి. వాట్ టైప్ ఆఫ్ దట్ కాంపౌండ్స్ ఆర్ దీస్? లాస్ట్ 2 ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్, ద క్రిస్టల్స్ ఆఫ్ హై అయానిక్ చార్జెస్ ఆర్ లీస్ట్ సాల్యుబుల్. వాటికి సాల్యుబిలిటీ అనేది తక్కువ ఉంటుంది అంతే. ఓకే, అండర్స్టూడ్? నౌ come to the next point here. Let us get that barium and lead. Barium is belongs to which group beta? Which group? Beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium. It is the second A group element. Lead, the stable oxidation state is that +2. Lead is belongs to which group element? Lead. It is the D block element. So barium and lead, they are that insoluble. Why insoluble means? ikkada em undali beta? Insoluble means what should be noted? Delta H value should be less than its lattice energy. That's it. Okay, see why these are that insoluble means the lattice energy is that very greater than that of it is that hydration energy. And the compounds of silver salts is also insoluble. The compounds of silver salts like AgCl, okay, AgNO3, silver nitrate, all are these examples of silver salts. So వీటికి కూడా ఇన్సాల్యుబుల్. రీజన్ ఎందుకు? వీటి లాటిస్ ఎనర్జీ అనేది ఎక్కువ ఉంటుంది. ఓకేనా? లాటిస్ ఎనర్జీ విల్ బి మోర్. Okay, next, due to the common ion, the solubility is also decreases. So see, but here I given that example, common ion effect. See, I will explain over here what is the common ion. See here, I taken that two example. When silver chloride, the solubility of silver chloride is decreasing in AgNO3. Okay, see, what is that? When silver chloride is reacts with the silver nitrate solution, AgNO3. Okay, otherwise when HCl, hydrochloric acid, is reacts with the AgCl. Okay, same examples now. See, when silver chloride, its solubility is decreases when it dissolves in that AgNO3 or KCl తీసుకున్నాడు ఇక్కడ. Okay, here it taken the KCl. KCl. Chalo beta, here what type of that compound is obtained? Ag plus Cl minus, Ag plus NO3 minus. So here Ag is going to be reacts with that. See here, it is not that soluble. That silver chloride is not the soluble in that AgNO3. Why? What is the reason? Due to the presence of common ion here. Here the silver chloride, silver, and here it is also silver is there. So due to the presence of this common ion, it is not soluble. It is not soluble. Okay, and what about over here? Here what is the common ion? Chlorine. Cl minus, Cl minus. So chloride ion is that common in these two components. So that's why this is also not soluble. Got it now beta? This is also not soluble. Okay, so due to the presence of that common ion, that solubility is decreases, so not soluble. Understood? So once again I repeat, what is it? So what type of that compound is not the soluble beta? Those compounds is having delta H value should be less than that the lattice energy. If the delta H is that greater than you, then only the ionic compounds are soluble. If delta H value is the less, then it is not the soluble. If both are equal, then it is present in that equilibrium state. Okay, and what type of that components, that the order should be that decreases beta, that solubility will be decreases. Eప్పుడు decrease avutundi? The crystals of high ionic charges, the crystals of high ionic charges are least soluble. See here, I will give the one example. Suppose here NaCl, sodium chloride is there, and AlCl3 is there. Okay, now tell me, according to this, which one is that soluble beta? Sodium chloride is that soluble. Okay, here AlCl3 is not the soluble. Not the soluble means that solubility is that very less. Why? Due to that high charge, aluminum plus 3, okay, sodium plus 1. Understood? Okay, see, the crystals of high ionic charges are least soluble. I think that now you got my point. Okay, the crystals of highly charges are least soluble, and least charges are highly soluble. Okay, now next, so this is the part of that ionic bond. Okay, next, go to the covalent bond. Okay, first, just a moment, go to that our that previous page, the classification, this one. Okay, types of bonds. Now first we'll completed that ionic bond beta. Okay, so ionic bond, how it is going to be formed? By the transfer of, it's the valence electrons. And how it is going to be transferred? From metal to non-metal. Always that ionic bond is obtained by the transfer of, it's that valence electrons. And how it is going to be transferred? From metal to non-metal. Now we are going to learn about the covalent bond. Okay, and before going to start the covalent bond, what is the statement beta? What is the general principle for that covalent bond? How it is formed? By the equal sharing of what? Electrons between what? Maybe they are the similar atoms or the different atoms are there. Between the similar atoms or different atoms. Okay. Now, chalo. Now come to the covalent bond. So covalent bond, as we learned, it is also two types. What is that? The polar and non-polar. Polar covalent bond and non-polar covalent bond. So first the polar covalent bond. This ఎలా form అవుతుంది beta? If atoms are different, then polar. Why it is the differ? Because that polar means that in the previous part I am already told like that. Polar means what? The charges should be present. Non-polar means what? No polar means no charge, means no dipole moment. I'm already told in the previous part. Determination of that dipole moment. Okay, na? Suppose if you want to watch that video, just go and watch it better. Okay, na? In dipole moment. Polar means what? Polar means what? Do contains the charges. So charges, if it contains, means that must and should contains that different atoms only, na? But that look at that non-polar. Non-polar దగ్గర ఏమవుతుంది బేటా atoms should be the same. Okay, atoms should be same. If atoms are different, then they contains different electronegativity. What is that? So covalent bond means ఏంటిది బేటా first covalent bond is of two types. Covalent bond is of two types. What is that? First, polar and non-polar. First, polar covalent bond and non-polar covalent bond. Okay, then what about that polar covalent bond? Polar covalent bond means what? Must and should be, they contains the charges plus and minus. But what about that non-polar? Non-polar means that no polar. No polar means that no charges. So no charges means that obviously no dipole moment. No dipole moment means that mu value will be 0 for this one. Okay, but what about this one? We can easily find out. So mu value is not equal to 0 for this that polar covalent bond. There is no charge. Okay, there is no charge. సో ఇక్కడ డిఫరెంట్ చార్జెస్ ఉన్నాయి బేటా ప్లస్ అండ్ మైనస్ అని అంటే కంపల్సరీ ఇక్కడ ఏముంటుంది బేటా అంటే డిఫరెంట్ ఆటమ్స్ షుడ్ బి దేర్. ఓకే, atoms are different atoms. Okay, but what about here? Charge ledu annappudu obviously they contains that same atoms, otherwise that similar atoms. Okay, same atoms or similar atoms will be there for non-polar covalent bond. For the polar covalent bond, different atoms are there. Suppose if that atoms are differ, then obviously they contains different in electronegativity. Electronegativity kuda different untundi. But what about here beta? If the atoms are same, then same electronegativity. Electronegativity is also will be same. See the example for the different atoms. See the example H2O. Okay, polar molecule, polar only na. So H2O ni మనం ఎలా రాసుకోవచ్చు beta? How can we write? CHOH. Hydrogen plus, oxygen minus, hydrogen plus. See, the charges are there. Okay, H2O. Otherwise, HF. This is also a polar covalent bond. H plus, F minus. So charges are there. So different atoms is also there. Hydrogen and that fluorine, different atoms. So their electronegativity is also differ. So that's why they are said to be as that polar covalent bond. Then come to that non-polar covalent bond. So non-polar covalent bond ఏంటి బేటా అక్కడ కంపల్సరీ చార్జెస్ షుడ్ నాట్ బి ప్రెసెంట్ ఓవర్ దేర్. ఎప్పుడు చార్జ్ 0 ఉంటుందంటే ఏముండదు, ఆటమ్స్ షుడ్ బి సేమ్. అంటే జస్ట్ లైక్ సి బేటా ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్ ఫర్ దిస్ వన్. chlorine Cl2, same atom. So how can we write Cl? So no charge. Charge is not possible for this molecule Cl2 ki mana. Chlorine ion kante Cl minus here the separately we can express it's the charge, but this molecule Cl2 minus అని ఎక్కడన్నా చూసామా మనం? No, not possible, isn't it na? అలాగే oxygen O2, not possible for the charge. Okay, next nitrogen. Okay, sorry, between the oxygen and oxygen double bond is there. between the nitrogen and nitrogen, triple bond is there. So these are the examples for the non-polar covalent bond. They are the covalent bonds only. This one between the nitrogen and nitrogen, like this. So this is the bond, this one, this one. So these bonds are the example for what? Covalent bond. But what type of that covalent bond? Non-polar covalent bond, because they are having, they don't have any charges, because they are that non-polar. You got my point, I think. Okay. See, the same examples here I'm already expressed over here. What is that? So once again I repeat, covalent bond. Covalent bond is of the two types. What is that? Polar covalent bond and non-polar covalent bond. So polar covalent bond. At what time just we can say they are the polar if the atoms are different. If the atoms are same, they are belongs to that non-polar. If the different atoms are there, it's that electron negativity value is also differ. Examples I am already given, H2O and HF, like this. If the atoms are the same, then obviously they contain the same electronegativity. That means that examples you see, look at over there, look at XX, oxygen double bond, oxygen, nitrogen triple bond, nitrogen. Okay, like this. Next, the number of electrons are shared should be equal to its that covalency. See here in the non-polar covalent bond, here how many electrons is going to be shared? Here this X oxygen, see here nitrogen. So the same examples here I'm going to write over here. Okay, first chlorine is there, chlorine and chlorine, single bond is there. Between that oxygen and oxygen, double bond is there. Between the nitrogen and nitrogen, triple bond is there. Now tell me better here, this chlorine atom of this one electron, okay, is going to shared by this chlorine atom of another electron. So as I said, what is that? The number of electrons are shared is equal to its that covalency. So ఇక్కడ నాన్ పోలార్ కోవాలెంట్ బాండ్ లో క్లోరిన్ మాలిక్యూల్ కి కోవాలెన్సీ ఎంత అని చెప్పొచ్చు బేటా ఇప్పుడు 1, because only one electron is going to be shared, mutually sharing. That is nothing but that covalent bond, isn't it now? And what about here oxygen? ఇక్కడ oxygen కి ఏంటి బేటా? How many electrons is going to be sharing here? This oxygen atom of the two electrons is going to share by the these two electrons of this oxygen atom. So its covalency equal to 1. Its covalency equal to 2. Then obviously it's that covalency. Yes, please guess over here. Tell me what would be the covalency? Will be 3. That's it. Okay. Next. The nature of the covalent bond is mainly explained on the basis of these theories. 3 theories are there. Okay. The nature of mainly the covalent bond is explained on the basis of 3 theories. What are they? First, VBT means valence bond theory is given by Hitler-London's. Okay. Hitler-London's process or Hitler-London theory. దీన్ని మనం ఏమంటాం? VBT theory అంటాం, valence bond theory. Next, the Pauling-Slater. Simply we can say as that overlapping theory. Second one. Third one, Hunt-Mulliken's theory. So with the help of this, the 3 theories, just we can found the nature of the covalent bond. It's going to explain on these 3 theories. Okay. Now let us know the first one, that orbital concept theory. First, it is introduced. So orbital concept theory is nothing but what? It is the VBT only, valence bond theory, which it is introduced by whom beta? Hitler-London. Who is introduced by Hitler-London. So in this theory, what happens, you know, that covalent bond is formed due to half-filled atomic orbitals with the opposite spin of electrons only. Once again, I repeat. Okay. Otherwise, I will try to explain over here. Clear diagram. See beta. Nitrogen is there now. Let us see here. Nitrogen. Nitrogen atomic number is 7. Write down its electronic configuration. 1s2, 2s2, 2p what? 2 plus 2, 4 plus 3. So in that outermost orbit of electron, what is that? P orbital. We can show like this. Okay. Like, unlike. And another nitrogen atom. Always that by overlapping, I'm already told it should be written in the reverse direction, isn't it now? 1s2, 2s2, 2p3. Okay, here we written in that reverse direction, so the electrons is also should be written in that reverse direction like this. So see, like this, a bond is a covalent bond is obtained. Okay, as I said, what is that? A covalent bond is that formed due to half filled only, not that completely filled. See it here, this one is that half filled orbital, means only one L. Completely filled, fully filled means what? If the each subshell must and should contains the two electrons, but what about over here? What about over here? Only that half filled orbital is there, means only that one electron is there, isn't it now? Only one electron is present, so half filled orbits. Okay, the half filled atomic orbitals with the opposite spin of electrons, two opposite spin of electrons, when they overlap, then only a covalent bond is obtained, which it is explained on the basis of which theory beta? Orbital concept theory. Who is proposed, who is introduced this theory? Hitler and London. Okay, next let us know the properties of covalent bond. Okay, but suppose if you didn't get it, just go and that playback and just listen once again. Okay, na? Then you can understood well. Now let us continue the properties of that covalent bond. First, the covalent bond, the main property must and should occur in that liquid state and that gaseous state only. What is that? Liquid state. Mostly the covalent bond, the compounds must and should contains only liquid state and gaseous state. But solid state lo chala rare ga untundi. But eppudu untundi but solid state? Whenever that molecular weight is that high, then that type of the compound is present in solid state. Very important point. Okay, what is the first point? Covalent bond property ఏంటి బేటా? ఫస్ట్ ఏంటిది? అది లిక్విడ్ స్టేట్ ఆర్ గ్యాసెస్ స్టేట్ లో ఉండాలి. లిక్విడ్ స్టేట్ ఆర్ గ్యాసెస్ స్టేట్ లో ఉండాలి. ఎట్ వాట్ టైమ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ ప్రెసెంట్ ఇన్ దట్ సాలిడ్ స్టేట్? ఎప్పుడు ఉంటుంది? whenever that compound molecular weight is high, whenever that compound of that molecular weight is that high, then it is present in what? Solid state. So see the example. See the example here. I would like to give the one example. Glucose. What is the formula of that glucose beta? Glucose and sucrose. Glucose and sucrose. Both are the saccharides only. Okay, both are saccharides only. Like that, I think that in your that lower sections you are already learned this topic, where we can learn in that biomolecules chapter. Okay, glucose, fructose, sucrose, maltose. Okay, all these, the second year part, class 12's biomolecules. Otherwise, that if the BPC students, they know very well about this one. Glucose formula. What is the glucose formula beta? What is the C6H12O6. మరి sucrose formula beta? C12H22O11. Okay, now tell me which one is that present in that liquid state and which one is present in that solid form. As I told, what is that? So those chemical substance of that molecular weight is that less, then it is present in that liquid form. If those component of that molecular weight is that high, then it is present in solid form, because it is that molecular weight C6H12O6. Just to find out it is that molecular weight, but you know method now. How can we find out? Okay, just please find out. And I hope it is that molecular weight is the 180, but that sucrose molecular weight is 342. 342. Now tell me, according to this statement, which one? See, glucose is the less solid, that means that a liquid state, but that sugar in the sense means what? That sucrose only, like that. Its molecular weight will that 342, so more solid. That's it. Okay, next. This bond is related to like dissolves like. Okay, this bond is related to what? Like dissolves like. Like dissolves like means what? The components, those components belongs to that same nature, is going to be dissolved in that type of the substances only. Alanti compounds lone adi dissolve avutundi annamata. Okay, next, have low melting point and boiling point compared to that ionic compounds, because that ionic compounds are that crystals compounds beta, hard, very hard in nature. So obviously those chemical substances are hot in nature. Obviously they contains that high melting point and boiling point is also density, isn't it now? In the previous part we are already learned, but what about over here? They are that liquids beta, they are the gases. So obviously they contains that low melting point and boiling point than ionic compounds. So what is the reason beta? Due to the weak van der Waals force is present. But what about that ionic compounds? What type of that force is present beta? What type of that force is present between the ionic compounds? Hmm? Electrostatic force of attraction is present between the two components. What is that? Electrostatic force of attraction. But what about over here? Covalent compounds metal ela untundi beta akkada weak van der Waals force of attraction is present. So that's why like that gaseous molecules ki ela untundi beta akkada force weak van der Waals forces are there. So that's why just randomly they can move in all directions, isn't it now? Gaseous particles, like let us see that one example. Whenever you open any that perfume bottle beta, if you spray over here, just we can get that smell in that outside of that room, isn't it now? ఇంకో పక్క రూమ్ లోకి స్మెల్ వస్తుంది మనకి. ఎందుకు రీజన్ ఏంటి? బికాస్ దే ఆర్ దట్ వీక్ van der Waals force are there. Weak van der Waals forces are there. So that's why we can that gaseous molecule easily or can move randomly in all directions. Gaseous molecules. అదే ఇప్పుడు ionic crystals అలా random లా move అవుతాయా? No, not possible. Okay. See the example. KOH here is greater than that hydrogen halides అంటే HX. HX అంటే HCl తీసుకోవచ్చు మనం ఇక్కడ. ఓకే, ఇక్కడ క్లోరిన్ అంటే నాన్ మెటల్ అంటే గ్యాస్ అంటే వీక్ van der Waals forces are there. But KOH potassium plus and OH is the minus. Potassium is that first year group metal na, isn't it na? So that's why it is that strong ionic force of attraction is present, KOH. But what about that hydrogen halide beta? Weak van der Waals forces are there. So that's why the KOH is that greater than that of what? HX. Next, boiling point and melting point is the directly proportional to hydrogen bonding and directly proportional to molecular weight. Very important point. What is that? The boiling point and that melting point is the directly proportional to hydrogen bonding and molecular weight. So increasing in the molecular weight, their boiling point and melting point is also increases. See this example. Now comparing this one beta, comparing this one, glucose and sucrose. Now tell me which one is having that more what boiling point and melting point? Those component is having that higher in the molecular weight. Obviously it's that melting point and boiling point is also high. And ఇప్పుడు దేని molecular weight ఎక్కువగా ఉంది? sucrose ది అంటే షుగర్ ది molecular weight ఇది ఎక్కువ ఉంటుంది కాబట్టి దీని మెల్ట్ చేయాలన్నా బాయిల్ చేయాలన్నా ఇట్ రిక్వైర్స్ దట్ మచ్ టైం అన్నమాట. అందుకే దీని మెల్టింగ్ పాయింట్ అండ్ బాయిలింగ్ పాయింట్ ఎక్కువగా ఉంటుంది. దేనికి? గ్లూకోజ్ అంటే. ఎందుకు? దీని మాలిక్యులర్ వెయిట్ ఎక్కువగా ఉంది కాబట్టి. ఓకేనా? బికాస్ the molecular weight is directly proportional to its that melting point and boiling point. Okay. Next example, decreasing order of boiling point. See, fluorine, HF, HI, HBr, HCl. See, this is the order, very important point, decreasing order of that boiling point. See here, boiling point and that melting point is directly proportional to what? Hydrogen bond. Okay. See, here I will give the one example. First, let us erase this one, just a moment. Okay. Next, continue. See here, I'm taking the one example. First, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, and iodine. Okay. While coming top to bottom, what happens here? That groups atomic number is increases. Then is that molecule atomic weight is also increases, na? Isn't it now? So just here I am taking the hydrates of this compound. Means HF, HCl, sorry, HF, HCl, HBr, and HI. Okay. So generally, what is the statement, beta? The boiling point, otherwise the melting point, is directly proportional to what? Molecular weight, isn't it? Now this is the general statement. So that means here, what is the order of boiling point and that melting point. What is the order? How can we write? See, HF, HCl, HBr and HI. How can we written the order beta? Order ఎలా రాస్తాం మనం? మాలిక్యులర్ వెయిట్ ఇంక్రీజ్ అవుతుంటుంది అవునా? అలాంటప్పుడు then boiling point and melting point is also should be increasing ఇలా ఉండాలి. ఓకే, బట్ ఇలా ఉండదు. ఎలా ఉంటుంది? దీనికి మాత్రం ఆపోజిట్ ఉంటుంది. అంటే ఇన్స్టెడ్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ డిక్రీజింగ్ హెచ్ఎఫ్ దీనికి ఎక్కువగా ఉంటుంది బేట. ఓకే, దిస్ ఈస్ ద రైట్, దిస్ ఈస్ ద రాంగ్. ఓకే, okay, otherwise I will write in another manner. Just a moment. So this is the wrong. So what is the right beta? How can we write? See, HF, HCl, HBr and HI. So here that order should be written like this. HF is having that more boiling point and that melting point comparing to that HCl. Generally HF ki low undali beta, because hydrogen fluoride that molecular weight is that least than that of that HCl. Okay, ante according to this statement, increasing in the molecular weight, that boiling point and that melting point is also should be increases. So increasing in that molecular weight, that boiling point and that melting point is also should be increases. That is the general statement, but here it is going to be exemption. So HF ki matram different ga untundi, malli ikkada decrease avutundi, sorry increase avutundi. HF annitikante HF ki ekkuva untundi. Okay, see this one, HF is having that more comparing to HI, HBr and HCl. ఓకే, ఇది మాత్రం డిఫరెంట్ గా ఉంటుంది. HF, HCl, HBr. అంటే ఇదంతా ఉల్టా రాయాలి బేట, లైక్ దిస్. HF, chlorine, bromine and iodine. Now we can write like this, that order. అంటే లోవర్ HCl కి లోవర్ ఆటమిక్ వెయిట్ ఉంటుంది కాబట్టి లో మెల్టింగ్ పాయింట్, బాయిలింగ్ పాయింట్ ఉంటుంది. దాని తర్వాత కాస్త ఎక్కువగా బ్రోమిన్ మాలిక్యులర్ వెయిట్ ఎక్కువ ఉంటుంది. తర్వాత అయోడిన్. బట్ ఫ్లోరిన్ కి is obviously is having that lower molecular weight, but why it is having that more melting point and boiling point? Why? Means HF is having the tend to form H bonding, hydrogen bonding, isn't it na? Isn't it or not? Hydrogen bonding we are already learned beta in the previous class. Hydrogen, the types of the bond. HF is that belongs to what type of bond? Intermolecular or intramolecular? Intermolecular hydrogen bonding. Intermolecular hydrogen bonding. So that's why it have that more melting point and that the boiling point. That's it. Okay, so very important point should be noted over here. Okay, what is that? So see, I'm already given due to that hydrogen bonding, HF is having that more melting point and boiling point, and as that molecular weight is that it decreases, that the melting point and boiling point is also decreases. Okay, next the chemical compounds, means that covalent bond compounds are that non-conductors, but what about that ionic compounds? They are the good conductors of electricity, but covalent compounds, they are that non-conductors. Why beta? Due to the absence of free electrons. ఇక్కడ ఫ్రీ ఎలక్ట్రాన్స్ అని ఏమి ఉండవు బేట, బట్ అదే అయానిక్ కాంపౌండ్స్ లో ఫ్రీ ఎలక్ట్రాన్స్ ఉంటాయి. ఎప్పుడు ఉంటాయి ఫ్రీ ఎలక్ట్రాన్స్? because they are going to be dissolving, and then they are going to dissociate into its ions like the cation as well as that anion. So that's why they contain that free ions. But covalent compounds లో ఫ్రీ ions ఉండవు. ఎందుకు ఉండవు అంటే అసలు బాండ్ ఎలా ఫామ్ అవుతుంది? మ్యూచువల్ షేరింగ్ బేట, మ్యూచువల్ షేరింగ్ ఆఫ్ దట్ ఎలక్ట్రాన్. సో అప్పుడు ఫ్రీ అయాన్స్ ఉండడానికి అసలు ఛాన్సే ఉండదు అనమాట అక్కడ. సో దట్స్ వై దే ఆర్ దట్ నాన్ కండక్టర్స్. నెక్స్ట్, బట్ గ్రాఫైట్ ఈజ్ ఏ కండక్టర్, డైమండ్ ఈజ్ ఏ నాన్ కండక్టర్. డైమండ్ ఈజ్ ఏ నాన్ కండక్టర్, బట్ గ్రాఫైట్ ఈజ్ ఏ గుడ్ కండక్టర్ ఆఫ్ ఎలక్ట్రిసిటీ. ఎందుకు అని అంటే డ్యూ టు దట్ అవైలబిలిటీ ఆఫ్ వేకెంట్ ఆర్బిటాల్స్. అక్కడ వేకెంట్ ఆర్బిటాల్స్ ఉంటాయి గ్రాఫైట్ లో. డైమండ్ లో మాత్రం vacant orbitals ఏమీ ఉండవు బేట. డ్యూ టు ద వేకెంట్ ఆర్బిటాల్స్ ఈస్ ఆబ్సెంట్ లైక్ టెట్రాహైడ్రల్ స్ట్రక్చర్, బికాస్ graphite diamond is the example of sp3 hybridization. Diamond is that example of sp3 hybridization, but graphite is that example of sp2 hybridization. Okay, graphite is that example for sp2 hybridization. Diamond is that example. In that is the 11th class. ఇది మనకి ఎక్కడ వస్తుందంటే 14th group elements లో వస్తుంది బెట, because these two are allotropes of the carbon. Diamond and the graphite is two allotropes of the carbon, in which diamond లో కార్బన్ ఉంటుంది, గ్రాఫైట్ లో కూడా కార్బన్ ఉంటుంది. అయితే కార్బన్ వాలెన్సీ ఎంత బెట 4 ఉంటుంది. కార్బన్ వాలెన్సీ ఎంత 4. అయితే డైమండ్ లో due to the presence of its structure, according to this structure, each carbon is going to be surrounded by that another 4 carbons. Each carbon is going to be surrounded by another 4 carbons, like this. So this is the structure of what? Diamond. So that's why there is no vacant orbitals beta. ఇక్కడ మాత్రం vacant orbital ఉండదు. మరి అదే గ్రాఫైట్ కి స్ట్రక్చర్ ఎలా ఉంటుంది? See, this is the hexagonal structure, like this. Oh, sorry. Shit. Sorry, not like this. Just a moment. Where we can learn in the inorganic part of the 14th group elements. So like this, ఇలా ఉంటుంది బెటర్ స్ట్రక్చర్ గ్రాఫైట్ అంటే హెక్సాగోనల్ రింగ్ స్ట్రక్చర్. ఓకే, hexagonal ring structure. This is the structure of graphite. Okay, so let us suppose this is the carbon. Okay, let us suppose this is the carbon. If this carbon is going to be surrounding with another how many carbons beta? See, here the one carbon, here the one carbon, and here the one carbon. Like see the structure, it looks like this. Okay, trigonal planar type. అందుకే ఇది ఏ hybridization beta? ఇది sp2 hybridization. This is also one of the allotrope of the carbon. So carbon valency should be 4, but here each carbon is going to be surrounding with that another 3 carbons. Ante one vacant orbit is there. Understood? So due to the presence of that vacant orbital, it is going to be tend to show what? The conductivity, conductance, electrical conductance untundi. But ikkada diamond beta, it is a bad conductor. Means it is not conducts electricity beta. Why? Carbon valency is 4, and here it is going to be surrounding with another 4 carbon atoms. Each carbon atom is again is going to be surrounding with another 4 carbon atoms. So that's why there is no vacant. ikkada vacant annadi em undadu beta, but ikkada entidi one vacant orbital is there. అర్థమైంది కదా కాన్సెప్ట్? ఇక్కడ one vacant orbital is there. So that's why this vacant orbital is tended to show conductance or conductor. So that's why graphite is a good conductor, but diamond is a bad conductor of electricity. Understood? Okay, next. It is a directional bond. మనకు తెలుసు కంపల్సరీ డైరెక్షనల్ బాండ్ ఉంటుంది. ఇదిగో ఇలా ఒక డైరెక్షనల్ ఉంటుంది, బట్ అదే అయానిక్ కాంపౌండ్స్ బట్ దిస్ ఈస్ అ నాన్ డైరెక్షనల్. ఓకే, but covalent bond is the directional. Okay, and they show space isomerism. What type of that space isomerism? Like two, geometrical and optical. So these that isomerism, the topic where we can learn in the general organic chemistry. Okay, geometrical isomerism and optical isomerism ఉంటుంది. ఇది covalent compounds, just like that glucose. Okay, they show that geometrical isomerism, like cis and the trans అని చెప్పేసి ఉంటుంది, లేకపోతే EZ nomenclature ఉంటుంది, otherwise that RS configuration. ఇలా different types ఉంటాయి బెట, where we can learn in that general organic chemistry. Okay na? So don't worry, I will explain that part only later, but not now, later, slowly. Understood now? Next, so it is a directional bond, and cation and anion shown that polarization. Polarization means what? Here cation కి cation సేమ్ ఉంది, బట్ anion ఇది మాత్రం డిఫరెంట్ అయింది. దీన్ని ఇప్పుడు ఏమంటారు బేట? Distorted anion. Distorted means the shape is going to be changed. Okay na? So here polarization is directly proportional to covalent nature, but it is that inversely proportional to ionic nature. Don't forget, any compound లో ఇప్పుడు ఒక cation and ఒక anion ఉంటుంది అనుకోండి బేట. Okay na, a cation anion, suppose if it is affected by any that polarization, okay, charge, then any one of the charge of that ion should be distorted, means that change its that shape. See here, which anion is that changed, beta? Obviously, mostly that anion is only that distorted, beta. Okay na. సో ఈ చార్జ్ ఎలా ఉంటుంది, పోలరైజేషన్ అనేది కోవాలెంట్ నేచర్ కి డైరెక్ట్లీ ప్రపోర్షనల్ ఉంటుంది, బట్ అయానిక్ నేచర్ కి ఇన్వర్స్లీ ప్రపోర్షనల్ ఉంటుంది. ఓకేనా, సీ ద ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఫర్ దట్ వన్, polarization. Okay na. So polarization means what, when cation and anions are very close to each other, isn't it now? Here very close to each other only na, cation and anion, isn't it or not? So when cation and anions are very close to each other, then shape of the anion is that destroyed by the presence of what, cation. Then shape అన్నది చేంజ్ అవుతుంది. ఎందుకు? వెరీ సింపుల్ లాంగ్వేజ్, జస్ట్ డూ రిమెంబర్ లైక్ దట్. Positively charged cation means it is going to be lose the electrons, but negatively charged anion it is going to be gains the electrons. అంటే తీసుకుంటుంది. నువ్వు కూడా ఎంత తినాలో అంతే తినాలి, అంతేగాని నువ్వు తింటా పోతా ఉంటే నీ షేప్ అవుట్ కదా, isn't it na? Obviously ఇది కూడా అంతే బెట. ఓకేనా, ఏంటది, when cation and anions are very close to each other, రెండు క్లోజ్ గానే ఉన్నాయి, బట్ షేప్ ఆఫ్ ద anions is only destroyed. ఎలా, ద ప్రజెన్స్ ఆఫ్ cation, వాడు కూడా అంతే బెట, ఎంత ఇవ్వాలనో అంతే లూజ్ చేసుకోవాలి, అంతేగాని వాడు కూడా ఎక్కువ లూజ్ చేశాడు అనుకో, అంటే ఇప్పుడు ఎవడైనా ఫ్రెండ్ సర్కిల్ ఉన్నాడు బెట, ఓకేనా, డైలీ బిర్యానీ ఫ్యామిలీ ప్యాకెట్ తినిపించాడు అనుకో, తినేవాడికి ఉండాలి కదా, వాడు తిన్నాడే అనుకో, obviously it's going to be destroyed its that shape, isn't it now? Like this. So due to this, the covalent nature is that develops in an ionic molecule. So ఈ కారణం వల్ల అంటే డ్యూ టు ద ప్రెసెన్స్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ రీజన్, విచ్ రీజన్, polarization, the covalent nature slowly it is going to be converts, otherwise that develops in an, ఏ విధంగా కన్వర్ట్ అవుతుంది, అయానిక్ మాలిక్యూల్ గా కన్వర్ట్ అవుతుంది. వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్ పాయింట్. ఓకేనా, at what time that covalent molecule is going to be develops in that ionic molecule? Tell me better, at what time? Due to the presence of what, polarization. Polarization means what, destroying the shape of what, obviously that anion. At what time it is going to be destroyed? When the positively charged cation is very close with that of negatively charged anion. Got it now? Then it's going to be destroyed. Okay, chalo beta. So this is the end of this part 3. Okay, and by the next class we are going to learn about the Fazant rule. Very very interesting topic and a very important topic. Pakka, the damn sure the chances are there to be given that objective questions on that Fazant's rule. Very important beta. Like that board exam ki ganivandi plus objective. Board exam ki aithe ikkada manaki 4 మార్క్స్ క్వశ్చన్ కి వస్తుంది బెట. ఇది దిస్ ఇస్ ద షార్ట్ ఆన్సర్ క్వశ్చన్, ఫాజన్ రూల్ అన్నమాట. ఓకే, అదే ఆబ్జెక్ట్ కి కూడా చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్, లైక్ దట్ మల్టీ లెవెల్ ఆఫ్ దట్ క్వశ్చన్స్, జస్ట్ వీ కెన్ క్రియేట్ ద క్వశ్చన్స్ ఆన్ దిస్ టాపిక్, ఫాజన్స్ రూల్. ఓకేనా, సో ఇన్ దట్ థర్డ్ పార్ట్ వాట్ విల్ లర్న్ బెట. అసలు ఈ రోజు ఏం చదువుకున్నాం మనం ఇక్కడ నుంచి, సాల్యుబిలిటీ ఆఫ్ దట్ అయానిక్ బాండ్. ఓకేనా, లుక్ ఎట్ దిస్. And next about that covalent bond, like that polar and non-polar covalent bond. Polar means that different atoms are there, means that different electronegativity. Non-polar means that no polar. No polar means that no charge. No charge means that it's different. So same atoms unte akkada different ఉంటుంది అన్నమాట. ఓకే, if atoms are సేమ్ ఆటమ్స్ ఉంటే ఎలక్ట్రోనెగటివిటీ కూడా సేమ్ ఉంటుంది. ఓకేనా, సో ఇదంతా ఒకసారి చూసుకోండి, మళ్ళీ కావాలిస్తే. ఇఫ్ యూ వోంట్ అండర్స్టూడ్, జస్ట్ గో అండ్ ప్లే బ్యాక్ వన్స్ అగైన్ అండ్ జస్ట్ వాచ్ ఇట్ కేర్ఫుల్లీ అండ్ ప్లీజ్ అండర్స్టూడ్ కేర్ఫుల్లీ. అండ్ ఇఫ్ యూ వోంట్ అండర్స్టూడ్, జస్ట్ పింగ్ ఏ మెసేజ్ టు మీ లైక్ దట్ అండ్ జస్ట్ కామెంట్ మీ అండ్ I will try to make out to clear your doubts. ఓకేనా, okay beta, thank you very much and have a good day and take care. By the next part I'm going to explain about the Fazant rule, so don't miss out our that next part. Thank you very much.